And frequent lightning right now, and this is in Kankakee County, the very southern parts of it, seeing a thunderstorm through there right now. But for the rest of us, it is just rain, and at times we have pockets of heavy rain. This continues again. Here's 8 p.m. Right now it is 6:30 on the dot, and we could have those showers still continuing through 8 p.m. By 9 o'clock, moving into northwest Indiana. By 10 o'clock, that should be out of here. 55 degrees right now at O'Hare, 56 in Morris, approaching 60 in Plainfield at 57 degrees right now. So that's for right now. And then tomorrow we're calm again, temperatures in the 40s, and then rain to snow on Saturday. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit.
Okay, Heisel, see you in a few. We continue to follow that breaking news out of Portland, Oregon, where there has been a shooting involving Customs and Border Protection agents. The FBI confirms agents did shoot 2 people, and the 2 were hit by gunfire and taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Now here's a look at the scene. The exact circumstances of what happened still unclear tonight, but again, it's believed that 2 people are still alive. And remember, Portland had been a flashpoint for protesters in the early days of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. We're watching this for you. We'll bring you updates as we get them, both here and on our website, and of course an update tonight at 10.
Some tense confrontation moments between protesters and law enforcement across the Twin Cities after a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent yesterday. The Trump administration maintaining today that the agent was protecting himself. Many in the community are calling it murder. The FBI has now taken over the investigation despite pushback from state officials. ABC's Armando Garcia live for us tonight in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with the latest developments in this story. Armando.
Well, Robin, Cheryl, it's raining here, but still hundreds of people are pouring in to pay their respects at this growing memorial as protesters chant ICE to get out of the city.
Dozens of people circled around a memorial of flowers today at the scene of the tragic deadly shooting in Minneapolis Wednesday involving federal agents. The group praying for 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good. She was behind the wheel of this maroon Honda SUV. This disturbing video posted on X causing public outrage. Federal agents shouting demands as an ICE agent grabs the door. Good backs up, then drives forward. An immigration agent firing multiple rounds at the vehicle, killing Good.
We recognize that he acted according to his training. He acted appropriately to protect his life and the life of his colleagues and fellow law enforcement officers that were there and people that were surrounding.
According to a law enforcement official, the agent involved is a member of ICE's special response team, deployed for high-profile and tactical situations. The agent has 10 years of experience, according to a source.
That woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation. She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself.
Clashes today between protesters and law enforcement outside a federal building. Many in the community demanding justice.
What we see on that camera is murder that is being justified by the highest office of this nation. We will not allow it.
Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension today learning it would not be involved in the investigation, which would be led solely by the FBI.
It feels very, very difficult that we will get a fair outcome. And I say that only because people in positions of power have already passed judgment.
And the White House saying today that DHS will continue to operate on the ground here in Minneapolis. Armando Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Armando, thank you for that report. Governor Pritzker saying that he has offered Illinois assistance in the investigation into yesterday's shooting.
It is unimaginable to think that this can happen in our country, or that when it does happen, the government immediately tries to cover it up. It should anger you. It angers me.
Governor Pritzker has also called for Kristi Noem to either resign or be fired as Secretary of Homeland Security.
People here in Chicago who actively work to protect immigrants from being detained by federal agents say the deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis is giving them pause. Mayor Quash talks to advocates who teach volunteers what to do and what not to do as they patrol ICE activity in the city.
We've seen local rapid response groups tracking ICE activity here in Chicago over the last several months, some of that leading to tense clashes between protesters and federal agents. Now here in Little Village, activists are honoring the 37-year-old woman who was shot and killed by federal agents in Minneapolis, and they are now reinforcing some of their own training in hopes of avoiding a similar tragedy. Memorial now sits under the Little Village Arch in remembrance of 37-year-old Renee Good. The woman was a rapid response leader in the Minneapolis community, similar to the groups that have formed in Chicago in an effort to alert others about ICE activity in the area.
It definitely does change our approach. I myself am very scared.
Ella Bueno is one of nearly 200 people who have volunteered with the Little Village Community Council to patrol ICE activity in Chicago. The group's members say the goal is never to interfere with federal immigration operations.
We wanted to make sure that people were educated on what their rights were. That is part of what community political education is.
Still, that has led to some tense moments in Chicago. Some of these volunteers say there is often a lot of confusion when federal agents are making commands, as seen yesterday in Minneapolis, right before shots were fired.
There can be a nice and telling you, like, can you please back off? Or another one can be like trying to grab someone.
The Department of Homeland Security has often called these groups agitators, saying they are interfering with operations. DHS also accused Good of using her vehicle as a deadly weapon, saying the officer shot her in self-defense.
They are ill-trained for this job.
According to the ICE use of force policy, quote, deadly force is not authorized solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect unless there is probable cause to believe that the escape of the subject would pose an imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury to the officer or another person. Now, retired Chicago Police Chief of Detectives Eugene Roy also weighing in tonight on what law enforcement training should look like in that situation.
The preferable option is to de-escalate the situation. You are not going to stop that car. You have the option of stepping aside. The dynamics of each situation are unique, and you need to tailor your tactics to that individual situation.
So as we expect DHS to continue operations here in Chicago over the next several months, these groups say they're going to continue their efforts peacefully. They say that they will continue to train anyone interested to make sure their neighbors know their rights. From Little Village, Mayor Kawash, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Mayor, thank you. Keep it here for the latest developments on immigration enforcement, that shooting in Minneapolis and also out in Portland. You can find the latest on our news app and website, too.
Chicago police are warning people to be on alert after two strong armed robberies on the northwest side. At least two women were followed into a garage or a vestibule and robbed. Police say the back-to-back attacks happening last month in broad daylight. The first one in the 8100 block of West Addison in the Dunning neighborhood. Another one happening in the 3200 block of North Newland Avenue. Investigators say that the man who was wearing a mask got away with phones, cash, credit cards, and shopping bags. A former daycare worker pleading guilty nearly a year after she was caught placing a 4-year-old boy in a trash can. Surveillance footage from the Learning Lab in Homewood showing Anna Petro forcing the boy into the empty garbage can because he refused to take a nap. Police say that she first forced the boy into an outdoor alley in 19-degree weather for about 20 seconds. Petro was sentenced to 12 months court supervision and 100 hours of community service. A judge also ordering her to write a formal letter of apology to the boy's family.
A Republican candidate for Illinois governor is unveiling what he's calling a blueprint for Illinois. Darren Bailey says property taxes across the state are too high.
This plan establishes a clear standard. No family should be required to pay more in property taxes than their mortgage payment. It caps annual property tax increases and requires the state to meet its responsibility to fund education fairly.
And Bailey talked about his blueprint for Illinois outside the governor's office in Springfield with his running mate, Aaron Del Mar.
Well, Chicago's iconic Wiener Circle also getting in the exciting playoff energy mood.
Yeah, we would not expect anything less.
Yes, of course.
The Northside Hot Dog Stand says if the Bears defense or special team scores a touchdown on Saturday, and a hallmark of the defense, they take the ball away, and the Bears win, it's more free hot dogs on Tuesday.
Ooh.
Or if defensive coordinator Dennis Allen does the Macarena. Do you think he knows it?
I think, what if it both happen?
Oh, man, it'd be great.
Two hot dogs?
I was going to say, yeah, you get two hot dogs. So the hot dog stand, remember, gave out free dogs earlier this year after Coach Ben Johnson went shirtless. Nobody thought it would happen. He did it. He's ripped. It was awesome.
No dad bod there.
No.
Okay, yes. Caleb Williams may be known as the Iceman, and now the city is leaning into that chill. Well, Bears-themed ice sculptures are popping up around Chicago over the next few days, giving fans a cool new way to show their pride. There also will be one outside of Soldier Field on game day. It's going to be cold outside.
Yeah,
Iceman cometh.
Right.
And those ice sculptures will last. Look how gorgeous that is.
It is pretty cool, right?
That is so, and it has lights.
It's a whole nice
man.
setup. Staley liked it too. We're not done. We have more Bears excitement coming up, including a look at what's sure to be a popular accessory.
I want one.
Yeah, everyone does at Soldier Field.
Okay, they need to all wear them, but first we have to talk about the Affordable Care Act subsidies. They could be extended after a vote in the House.
We're also going to look at how some members of Congress crossing party lines to limit what the president can do in the future when it comes to Venezuela.
The Senate votes in favor of a resolution limiting the president's ability to conduct more attacks in Venezuela. 5 Republicans broke from party ranks. ABC's Perry Russum has the latest tonight from Washington.
Robin Sherrill, President Trump now going after those 5 Republicans by name, saying they should never be elected to office again. New images show the U.S. Coast Guard escorting the MT Sophia after it was seized in the Caribbean, one of 2 tankers seized yesterday. The other, the Bella One, evading the U.S. military for weeks. Records now show it was recently renamed and claimed by Russia, with its crew painting a Russian flag on the side of the ship.
We did see 2 Russian military aircraft overfly the Coast Guard cutter in the North Atlantic that was escorting the Bella One. At no time was the Coast Guard concerned at all about Russian military presence.
Both tankers are linked to Venezuela. President Trump says he expects the U.S. will be running Venezuela and extracting from its oil reserves for years. In an interview with the New York Times, Trump says, "We're going to be using oil and we're going to be taking oil. We're getting oil prices down. And we're going to be giving money to Venezuela, which they desperately need." Trump acknowledging it will take years to revive the country's neglected oil sector.
This isn't about drugs. The administration hardly even mentions that excuse anymore. This isn't about democracy or human rights. They have no plan here. They basically replace one dictator with another. This is about oil.
The Senate today advancing a war powers resolution that would block the U.S. military from engaging in hostilities within or against Venezuela unless authorized by Congress. The resolution still has to go up for a final vote and would have to be signed by President Trump.
It's not going to change anything about how we conduct foreign policy over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months.
5 Republicans breaking from Trump and voting in favor of the resolution, including Senator Josh Hawley.
But to me, this is a prospective thing. If going forward, DOD recommends to him, we need to put troops on the ground in Venezuela. And yesterday, Secretary Rubio said they don't want to do that, but it is an option. If that should happen, then I think Congress would have to be on the hook for that.
President Trump says today's vote impedes his authority as commander-in-chief, and he calls the War Powers Act unconstitutional. In Washington, Perry Russum, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Perry, thanks. The U.S. House has approved a bill that extends health care subsidies that expired at the end of last year. It's a 3-year extension that passed with bipartisan support, despite Republican leaders telling members to vote no. Well, the legislation now heads to the Senate, where it is not expected to get a vote. A similar proposal was voted down last year. And the White House is saying today that it was not feasible to save the East Wing because of structural issues, past decay, and other major concerns. It's the most comprehensive explanation to date for the dramatic demolition of the East Wing. And it happened as officials shared details for former President Trump's planned ballroom at a public meeting of the Planning Commission that's charged with approving it. The $400 million project will include a new visitors entry complex for events in the ballroom. It would also add a second story to the colonnade outside the West Wing to make the building more uniform with the new ballroom on the east side.
Well, after becoming the third longest serving member of the House, Steny Hoyer is retiring.
I've won elections and lost a couple, celebrated triumphs and suffered setbacks, enjoyed friendships and endured hardships. As the song says, some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Happily, I've experienced more diamonds than stone.
Well, the Democrat from Maryland says he made the decision while spending time with his family over the holidays. He is 86 years old, and prior to serving in Congress, he spent more than 10 years in the Maryland State Senate.
Are you looking to get a tax refund early? The first date, the IRS will start accepting returns.
All right, it's time already. My goodness. Gusty winds, though, as we take a live look outside. You can see those raindrops on the camera. Rain moving in tonight. Haiso Martinez, she has an updated, accurate forecast for you coming up. Well, today we're hearing from the poet making Chicago proud. Now, we first shared the news with you yesterday that Maida Alexandra Del Valle was named Chicago's second poet laureate. Well, today she stopped by to talk about representing arts and culture here in Chicago.
We need poetry right now in the world. You know, poetry for me is one of the few art forms remaining that really demands a level of truth and honesty, not just from the poet, but from the audience.
Well, Del Valle performed at the White House in 2009 during President Barack Obama's first term. She has her first appearance in her new official role on Wednesday evening at the Chicago Cultural Center. And poetry is one of my favorite pieces of artwork. I got a really beautiful pen from Ryan for Christmas.
Really?
And I plan to write
Chavarrini?
Yeah.
Do you write poetry?
I do, but in form of spoken word.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
I bet it'd be great.
see, I love
you should share
poetry.
something sometime.
I'm okay.
You'd be reluctant? No, I bet it's terrific.
I mean,
I think it's a form of
inspirational.
it's a form of therapy. I think. And
think
it's
so,
hard now when we
too.
have our devices to not put them down and pick up a pen and.
But you know I'm a writer person. Cards.
Yes.
Oh, although he makes fun.
We're not doing it. It's 2026. Your cursive,
We're not
cursive
doing
is
it.
great.
Oh,
We've had a years-long debate about Cheryl's cursive writing. Bear with us, Heisel. I know you know this. But I will
Heisel
say,
thinks she can read my words.
yeah,
I write
well,
her
will say
letters.
your Christmas card, you
Okay.
cleaned it up
Well, I didn't write much because you made me feel self-conscious. So you and your children.
I understood the cursive, and she wrote it in Spanish.
See, thank you. Thank you. See?
Now you're just showing.
Okay,
Yeah.
see? Maybe it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be in the mix in 2026. You see, did you catch that rhyme?
Right. I hear you, Monica. You like her cursive. Good answer. It's a lost art. My kids don't even know they're 20 and 23, and they don't really know how to write cursive.
You know, my 27-year-old niece, you use her as evidence.
I clearly remember third grade.
See, third grade is we're 8 years old.
Is when you
the double lines on the yellow paper,
constantly-
and you learn the
Your
loop.
niece said, "Auntie, translate this for me," so I'm not alone in this fight. Not a fight, really. But anyway, it's great to have you back.
Yes, reunited, and it feels so good. You
Our
can
producer
see why.
got us back. We're just chewing up time.
Okay.
So we're chewing up your time.
We chit chat a little too much.
Chitty chatty.
Let's talk about the weather.
All right.
If you're looking out your window, it's probably pouring rain right now. But the thing is, it's very mild. 55 degrees at O'Hare, 55 at Midway, Kankakee's at 56 degrees, Pontiac at 58, 54 in Valparaiso. So very warm for January standards, and also pretty humid out there too. Our dew points are approaching close to 60 right now. Usually I don't show this until we're in the summertime, and I'm showing you how humid it is. That moisture streaming into our area, and temperatures in the 50s, pouring rain out there, and at times we could have a thunderstorm or two, which is what we're seeing right now. It's pretty isolated, but we are under a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. Main concern is some gusty wind, so if one of these thunderstorms is able to bring some of the wind from the cloud level down to the surface, there could be some damaging wind, but at this point it's looking pretty isolated. Here is a wide look to show you that it is a huge system that is crossing over us. Live Doppler 7 Max to show you a closer look right now. Again, most of us dealing with some pouring rain. We had a thunderstorm over Kankakee County, now moving into Lake County in northwest Indiana. This is the one producing a few lightning strikes, some thunder, maybe some gusty winds. For the rest of us, it's just moderate to heavy rainfall right now. Near downtown Chicago, we just recently saw one lightning strike, and that's what we'll be dealing with for the next couple of hours. This will be moving out, though, in the next couple of hours. Here's 8 p.m. to show you we're still dealing with downpours, but notice our western counties are drying out. By 9 p.m., this mainly in northwest Indiana. So now the threat at 9 p.m. is just in northwest Indiana, and then that continues through about 10 o'clock, and then we're pretty much done with this. Then 7 in the morning tomorrow, we're in the low and mid 40s. Then as I continue the clock here, notice our skies clear up, and our temperatures come back up into the mid and upper 40s. 7 p.m. on Friday, if you have dinner plans, we fall into the upper 30s, but it's not a drastic drop. Then Saturday in the morning, a rain-snow mix where we have slushy accumulations here. 7 a.m. to show you some snow falling across the area, but notice our air temperatures a couple to a few degrees above freezing. Noon, we're still seeing a few snow showers. It looks like we clear up, but then as some colder air continues to fuel in, the chance to have flurries around as we head towards kickoff for the Bears game, and again throughout the game we could have a few flurries around. How much snow are we expecting from that? Slushy accumulations mainly on cold surfaces like on the grass or things like that, where we could have about half an inch to perhaps an inch in some locations here, and that's going to be on Saturday, mainly before the game. 7 p.m. for kickoff, 32 degrees, spotty snow showers around for the fourth quarter. We're at about 29 degrees, so expect some snow showers, but it's not going to be nearly as cold as the December game where we only had a high of 8. So once you've dealt with that at Soldier Field, you know, 32 degrees around kickoff is not so bad. And then we're in the 40s here as we head into next week, at least one day in the 40s next week.
Rob, you were at that game, right?
Oh, with the Packers-Bears last game.
Yeah, and it was
the
cold.
8 degrees game?
Oh, no, that was the Browns game.
Okay.
That was the week before.
Okay, that was a Sunday game. That's
that was
right.
cold. I think for the Bears-Packers last time, it was cold. It was like 30.
In the 30s.
Yeah.
Well, what's the statistics on when it's snowing, do we win?
Right? Flurries equals win.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I had to just got it.
I like it.
She didn't have to write it down either.
Yeah.
See, it's
In cursive. You get latest forecast anytime. It's the free ABC7 Chicago News app. Everything there is printed. It's typed. You can scan the QR code on your screen for a link to download. It's easy to read.
All right, it's time, everybody. Tax season is just about here. For some of us, we get done early. The IRS saying today it will start accepting returns on January 26th. Now, if you're due a refund, you could get it faster by filing sooner. Well, the deadline to file, of course, is Wednesday, April 15th.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, we're talking cheese grater hat. They're awesome.
I know. I want one.
Okay. We'll
Can you work on that?
John Garcia will.
I know. I heard they're coming.
Annual tradition is going to look a little different this year. Animal Planet's Puppy Bowl will now put the spotlight on senior dogs. Team Oldies
love that.
will take on Team Goldies in a special exhibition game. This is not the regular season. The main event will also feature 15 pups with special needs for the first time.
I love this.
In all, more than 150 dogs from more than 70 shelters will participate. They look awesome.
Will they be available for adoption?
Yes,
maybe
they
for
always
forever
are.
home?
Yeah.
I like a seasoned dog, a veteran.
Right.
I mean,
so sweet. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be fun to watch.
One of the most popular novelty items for Bears fans this weekend is going to be the cheese grater hat.
Right. There's a big story behind this, too. And John Garcia went on the hunt for one of them so he could put it on his head. He has the story behind this hot item aimed directly at those cheesehead Packers fans.
Bears merchandise flying off the shelves in sporting goods stores right now in anticipation of the playoff game on Saturday, but perhaps nothing more popular than the cheese grater hat.
The hats are the brainchild of a small company in Houston. They're working frantically to get the hats out to customers as quickly as possible. Talk about timing. Demand is at an all-time high before the wild card playoff game between the Packers and Bears.
I mean, it's being a kind of Cinderella story, like everything's happening, the Bears making the playoffs and beating the Packers as they did.
The company has actually switched sides in the historic football rivalry. At one time, they produced cheesehead hats, but the Packers sent them a cease and desist letter. So they came up with a product Packer haters could love. The company has a trademark pending.
I think they're hysterical. It's a great way to fight back against the cheese wedge heads.
Meantime, they've sold about 7,000 of them so far, with a waiting list of another 10,000 for mail orders. The only local retailer is Clark Street Sports, which is expecting its first shipment tomorrow.
You always see the big cheese heads in the stand, right? Well, now we got the counterpart to that. We're going to shred them up. So.
Clark Street Sports sells a lot of Bears products. Caleb Williams' number 18 jerseys are a hot seller, and they're also expecting these Iceman t-shirts with Williams' number to do well. But the cheese grater hat is aimed at the Bears' #1 rival.
I personally love them. I mean, I think it just speaks to how much the city is sick of Green Bay.
While these hats are not likely to be popular north of the Cheddar Curtain, if you do want to get one in time for the game for your favorite Bears fan, the only place to do it is here at Clark Street Sports on Lawrence. On the northwest side, John Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
So
That story aired earlier. I wonder if those hats even exist at that store anymore.
Right, they're all gone.
They're all
I think
gone.
every single Bears fan should have one on.
If I was going to
on
the game,
Saturday
I would
night.
have gone
I would want one.
directly
I would
after that
make
aired.
one. Get
Notice
some
the creator,
styrofoam.
he's wearing it this way, not this way. So I don't know, is there a
When you
proper
do,
way?
okay.
Right,
Is it
how do
going
you
to
do your
block
cheese?
people's views?
There it is. We'll see you at 10.
And an update here with our weather with rain falling across the area. It is mild out there as well with temps in the 50s. You can see Chicago stretching back towards the south and west, getting in on the rain right now, barely detecting any storms. There is one lightning strike here in northwest Indiana as these little rain showers continue to weaken just a bit as they pass on. And there it goes. It disappeared there. So we're not even tracking any storms right now. We do have a stronger line of some rain back to the south and west, moving into parts of LaSalle County right now. So brief downpours expected as this rain continues to lift up and through the area as we head into the next couple of hours. Some gusty winds possible. Looking at the latest, up to about 30-35 mile per hour wind gusts with the rain showers moving through. Back to the north and west is where the center of the system is centered, with the area of low pressure that will continue to pass through us. But really our rain threat will come to an end as we get closer to about midnight. Isolated severe threat. The main threats with anything tonight would be some strong gusty winds, level 1 out of 5. Isolated brief tornado threat really exists farther downstate. So we're tracking the rain here as we go into about the 8-9 o'clock hour. Continues to push through northwest Indiana, passing off to the east. We dry out overnight. Notice our temperature still very mild during the early morning hours. Then they begin to drop as we head into early tomorrow. We're near the 40s, but into the afternoon, we're still going to see these temperatures going down into the 30s. Gusty winds remain in the forecast tonight, regardless of the rain and the showers pushing on through and into early tomorrow, up to about 25 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts here expected. So it does remain quite windy through our Friday, with rainfall anywhere from about a half an inch up to an inch expected area wide out of this system. So a decent rainmaker for this time of the year. Then as we go into our Wednesday or our Saturday, I should say, big Saturday start to the weekend, we're looking at the next system to move in with some rain over to some snow. So this system moves on out of here. We get some clearing into our Friday afternoon, and then on its heels for the weekend, this will push in and bring us a round of some scattered snow showers for our Saturday morning, and this will bring us a dusting of snow. It does appear that the system will be quick hitting and out in time for the game on Saturday night, with just some lingering scattered snow showers possible flying on by, but it will get much colder with temperatures dropping into the 20s for that game at Soldier Field, and it's going to feel quite cold with gusty winds up to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So for tonight, tracking the rain moving through, it does begin to push out closer to about 11 p.m. midnight. Tomorrow getting some sunshine, rain to snow on our Saturday. Sunday, some early light snow showers possible, getting the sunshine on Monday, and then another system for Tuesday into Wednesday bringing some light precipitation. We'll have another update on this weather coming up at 8 o'clock. see this thin, narrow band of heavier rainfall that will continue to push its way through. We have gotten a few reports of some ponding on area roads, so a flood advisory up until 11 p.m. this night as this rain continues to sit with us and then moves out quickly after about 10, 11 o'clock this evening. So you can see that line that will continue to push its way to the east, crossing over I-55 and then getting closer to I-57. Some lightning here reported down towards parts of Will into northwest Indiana. These showers are continuing to weaken here, but then an uptick in intensity just back to the west here with that main line, where we could find wind gusts up to about 40, 45 miles per hour. These will continue to push through, and then we'll catch a little bit of a break overnight and for the day tomorrow. Notice downstate where we are finding more instability and some storms there. That's where we do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings, as well as a tornado warning right now. That tornado threat primarily well off to the south of us in parts of central and southern Illinois. We could just see a few gusty showers here this evening, bringing with the main threats those gusty winds. That's why we have a level 1 out of 5, mainly along and south of I-80 through the remainder of this evening. So that rain will continue to push east between about 9 and 11 o'clock, continuing to exit farther off to the east shortly around midnight out of northwest Indiana. Temperatures very mild, but then they begin to drop as we head into our Friday. We start off Friday with some cloud cover before we get some sunshine before the sun sets during the afternoon, but our high temps tomorrow will be occurring overnight, and then they continue to drop really throughout the day, holding steady close to about 40 degrees. And our wind gusts will be high through the remainder of tonight into tomorrow, up to about 25 to 35 mile per hour sustained winds, with gusts at times reaching closer to about 40 miles per hour. And any shower or isolated storm this evening could produce gusts a little bit higher. We're going to end up with about a half an inch to an inch and a quarter of rainfall across the area from this system, which is a good amount of rain for this time of the year. Then our focus will turn to Saturday with the next system that moves in behind this one. You can see the rain and the snow that will exit up to the east of us. We get you some sunshine for our Friday afternoon, and then some snow showers early Saturday. This system, though, exiting rather quick. We have a few scattered snow showers into the evening as our temperatures dropping into the 20s. Winds will be gusty Saturday night. We'll be keeping an eye on that for the Bears game at Soldier Field. It is certainly going to be a cold night. For tonight, AccuWeather alert with the showers moving through, some ponding on area roads into the weekend, that rain to snow, dropping temperatures on our Sunday, Monday 39, and then keeping an eye on next week with a few showers by Tuesday, Wednesday, some early snow.